So Will, Karina, Batu, and I are making a 3D animation about a crab. So in our third year as an animation major, we get to make an animated film. So that gives us like about 3.5 months. 3.5 months to write a story, create characters, make concepts, 3D models, 3D assets, 3D rigs, then animate those rigs, which is like 4 different other steps, and then render those animations, then composite, edit, essentially finish a whole animated film. Yeah. So what's our plot? Essentially we follow a old, withered fisherman who's an amputee, you know, he's lost his arm, and he's just making by. And he finds new life in this cute little crab he discovers at sea, who's also lost his arm. So he gives him a little hook as a new prosthetic, and they go on a little journey, bonding through the shared disability, going through ups and downs and the whole spiel. And since it's like a short film with like minimal dialogue, if any, we don't really need a whole script for this. We can just make a simple storyboard. So bing, bang, boom. We have a visual guide, kinda. These are just shitty little doodles that we did on the fly, and they aren't like good, so don't use this as a reference for what storyboards should probably look like. But for a small team like ours, these are good to understand composition, camera angles, where characters should be. And speaking of characters, Karina's designing the characters. While that's happening, Bosch is going to be doing set design. So one of the main key components is the boat. Where is the boat? Is the boat. So he's designing the boat with all the hatches and everything and getting that to us. Yeah, once the models are done, we can start doing texturing by UV unwrapping the characters, and once the characters are unwrapped, we can go to the substance painter and give them proper textures, and while it's happening, Batu and I are going to be rigging, and then once that's rigged, we can start animating the animation. So like, upon review, I realized that none of that stuff about 3D animation makes sense if you don't know 3D animation. So let's explain that. Modeling.
You take shape and you make shape into different shape. Cube? How do I explain this? A 3D model is made up of a bunch of points in 3D space. You draw lines between the points to create edges, and then edges connect to create faces. And a 3D model is just a bunch of faces. This is a cylinder.
Open?
Yeah.
You take a brush. I made that crab. I made that crab. You see, woman in animation.
Editing movie here, I realized we didn't actually record any footage of us explaining sculpting because we kind of got distracted in this clip.
Oh, crab.
It's just normal sculpting. You turn like a block of clay into like a figure. Just that process, but on the computer. Texturing. It's just giving it color. There's more steps to it, and there are way more intricate details, but essentially it's just giving the model color.
Rigging is movement. So T-pose to this.
It's a skeleton for the 3D model.
Let's say this is a cylinder that will model. I add joints and then I can break. So this is a cylinder that will model. I get this model and then I put joints and now it can move.
Okay, so now that we have our 3D assets and our storyboards that showcase what's meant to happen, we can start animating. And the first stage of that is blocking, which is just boiling down the movement into very simple poses, allowing us to like be experimental with the animation and try different ideas without sinking too much time into it. And here's one of the shots I'm working on of him pulling this crab trap out of the ocean. Because it's a very like movement-based animation with like lots of weight distribution, I record reference. So here's also that. Then because I'm working with a team, I can send it off to them, see what they think, get their critique and notes, maybe new ideas that I couldn't thought of, and get their fresh input on it, which is nice. Then once I'm happy with this, I can start stage 2, splining. In 3D, it's basically just filling in the gaps between the main poses and making it all nice and smooth. And it's a very simple process. Just select all your frames, all your poses, click this button, bing, bang, boom, and it's done. Look how pretty it looks. that was I just lied to you. This single shot took me 20 different versions and a week and a half of animation to just complete. That's because the auto spline looks like this. So we have to clean this up. And we have like 30 more shots to animate. But we have 2 whole months to animate, so I think we're chilling. Murphy's Law states that anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
I had a problem last night and I decided to just close the file and go home. It's worked.
Everything that was working the first semester, and we threw it all away.
But is it? Okay, that looks kind of scary. Instead of
We had to repress the memory of how bad it was last semester to do it again.
What do you think about rigging? No. This hip is fucked. You can see here. It's just fucked.
Why is my foot control over here?
Face is flannel and his beard is flush. Murphy's Law is back. Maybe.
Oh, if this doesn't work.
After spending weeks animating and a few more weeks reanimating, we're finally done. Nope. We still have so much more to do, like lighting. Straight out of animation, this is how it looks. It's very flat, not very colorful, and just doesn't look that visually appealing. So we have to light every shot and make it more punctual and make everything a lot more visually interesting. For this scene in particular, it's set during sundown, so there'll be a lot of oranges, yellows, pinks, purples, and even some blues. And the easiest way of doing that is, well, making the sky a sunset. And it looks very... The colors are good, but the crab can't really be seen. It's all in shadow, and overall it's not very appealing. Now to fix this, all we need to do is put lights all over the place. Now we can see the crab a lot more better, his silhouette's a lot more clean, and the fisherman looks more interesting. You can see the shape of his face more, and overall, this looks far more put together. And here's the final shot. I think it looks a lot more appealing and more visually interesting than the original, with the white sky and no lighting. There's also a whole new sky and other effects all around the shot, and that's because of compositing. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I can't really explain compositing because I don't really get it myself. That's mainly because the software looks like this. But in like layman's terms, it's kind of just cleaning up everything and adding extra effects to tighten up the whole shot and make it look more clean and professional. It's just the icing on top of the cake. For example, here's shot 8.2 right after animation and lighting. It looks good, but missing that sense of atmosphere and extra amount of detail. So this is where I come in with these layers of effects, which can be seen as little breakdowns probably playing while I'm talking. There's a whole stormy sky, rain on the glass, windows. Yeah, and that's basically compositing, explained in the worst possible way. Editing. So after we finish all the animation, lighting, and compositing, we can put it all together in a nice, coherent edit with sound. And by we, I mean Batu, because he is our editor. So Batu will just stitch all the clips together and make them all clean and coherent into one solid film. Luckily, we had some extra time to do some screening tests at Timken Hall. That was nice.
the sound will be probably finalized.
That's been changed. Oh.
Yeah. I layered a lot of shit.
Oh, that's nice.
First of all. Second of all.
After 3.5 months of blood, sweat, tears, and thousands of Maya crashes, we actually managed to finish the film. Hopefully by the time this video is out, the film has been released online. But if not, here's the whole movie in 10 seconds. A big thanks to Craig Good for guiding us throughout this whole project, and a bigger thanks to the Capo program for providing a platform for this little behind the scenes video. And yeah, thank you. Bye.
Like, it's... What? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so fucking done with this shit.